Hi, I'm Sina and I'm a drummer.
Sina Doering, better known as Sina Drums, wasn't just another teenage musician on YouTube. She was a viral phenomenon who made drumming cool again. When her cover of Come Together by the Beatles spread like wildfire, the world did a double take. Who was this calm-faced girl hammering out classic rock beats with surgical precision? From the get-go, Sina looked like a prodigy molded in a time machine. One foot in the modern digital age, the other in the golden era of rock. Her channel wasn't flashy, her personality wasn't loud, but the sound she produced was enough to silence any skeptic. Yet for every explosive cover video, there was an undercurrent of silence about her personal life. No vlogs, no drama, just beats. And while the world tapped along to her rhythm, very few realized just how little we actually knew about the girl behind the drums. But beneath the tempo of success, a quiet, haunting story was waiting to surface. Raised in Germany, Sina wasn't handed a toy drum set at 6. She was handed a studio. Her father, Michael Doering, was a professional musician and producer with a history in the industry. That musical environment became her playground, her classroom, and eventually, her career. She began playing drums at the age of 10 and recorded her first pieces shortly after. While most kids were figuring out how to tune a guitar, Sina was learning how to mix audio, film multicam setups, and record high-quality studio sessions under the guidance of a professional. But here, where the timeline takes a twist, fans began to wonder, was this a natural rise or a carefully orchestrated project? The clean studio, the calculated uploads, the perfect mic placements. Some felt her channel lacked the spontaneity of other viral creators. And as questions about creative control quietly simmered in fan forums, one thing became clear. Sina wasn't just a drummer, she was part of a polished machine. And in that machine, some began to wonder if she had room to truly be herself. By the time Sina hit her late teens, she had achieved something most musicians could only dream of: millions of views, thousands of loyal fans, and an international reputation as one of YouTube's most technically refined drummers. Her choice of songs, classic hits from Queen, Led Zeppelin, and Phil Collins, struck a nostalgic nerve with older fans and wowed new ones with her precision. But this success came with an unspoken cost. Her brand was built around covers, not originality. Anytime she slipped in an original composition or her own musical idea, the views would tank. The same audience that celebrated her talent seemed unwilling to follow her on a personal creative journey. She became trapped in a loop, chasing algorithmic approval instead of artistic evolution. The beat that made her famous also kept her locked in a rhythm that wasn't fully her own. What many never saw was the emotional toll this one-sided success took on Sina. While her covers gained millions of views, her original projects like Kaimai were barely blips on the radar. In multiple interviews and community posts, she confessed that it was disheartening to pour herself into original work only to see it buried by YouTube's algorithm. She didn't crave mainstream fame. She wanted respect as a composer and creator. But the internet had other plans. The fans clicked for nostalgia, not evolution. It's a battle countless creators face. Do you give the audience what they want, or do you risk everything for artistic authenticity? For Sina, that inner conflict began to wear her down, emotionally and mentally. And soon, the silence between uploads grew louder than any drumbeat. Unlike many YouTubers who transition into live performances or collaborations, Sina remained in her quiet home studio, rarely stepping out for concerts or fan meetups. Her online presence was polished, calm, and always measured, but real-life appearances were nearly non-existent. That distance raised concerns. Fans wondered why such a massive talent wasn't touring or signing major record deals. The truth may lie in a deeper emotional exhaustion. Sina once hinted at the emotional weight of being an online figure, expectations, burnout, and the lack of real-world feedback. She was surrounded by digital praise, yet isolated in real life. And when the applause faded into silence, the real weight of loneliness began to take its toll. In late 2022, regular viewers noticed something strange. Sina's uploads began slowing down. No announcements, no explanations, just gaps. Comments flooded in, "Is she okay? Where's Sina?" But there were no answers. For someone who had posted consistently for nearly a decade, the sudden silence was deafening. Rumors ranged from personal health issues to total burnout. Some feared she had given up on drumming altogether. But without any public statements or clarifications, everything remained speculation. For a creator who had been so consistent and composed, the abrupt disappearance felt like a warning siren no one could interpret. And just when everyone started to fear the worst, she reappeared, with more questions than answers. After months of silence, Sina returned, not with a drum solo but a vague post. She thanked fans for sticking around and teased that she was working on something new. No further detail, no new video. The community exploded with speculation. Was she leaving drumming, starting a new genre, battling mental health challenges? Every theory seemed plausible, yet nothing was confirmed. It was the digital version of someone waving from across a foggy street. You see the shape, but you don't hear the voice. It was clear she was alive, but not clear where she was headed. And that mystery sent shockwaves through a fan base that had grown used to rhythm, but wasn't ready for silence. In 2024, Sina made another subtle move, literally. She announced she had relocated to London to explore film scoring and composition. It was a major shift from her previous style, hinting at a deeper personal evolution. But this change also confirmed something many had feared. She was stepping away from the YouTube drummer identity that made her famous. Fans praised her for following her passion, but others mourned the end of an era. The Sina who wore headphones and played deep into the night in a German studio was no longer there. And just like that, the beat changed, but the echo of her legacy still lingered. Sina Doering's timeline isn't marked by scandals, arrests, or outbursts. It's marked by a gentle unraveling. Her story isn't loud, it's quietly tragic. Viral fame gave her exposure, but it didn't nourish her creative spirit. The child Prodigy became a viral brand, and the artist inside got quieter. It's a cautionary tale for the digital age. Sometimes the platforms that elevate you also erase you. Sina never asked to be a cover queen, she wanted to be a creator. But the world clicked for one side of her and ignored the rest. And in chasing millions of views, we may have missed the most human part of her story. Whether Sina ever returns to YouTube full-time or remains behind the scenes as a composer, her impact is undeniable. She inspired a generation of young musicians, proved that drums weren't just a boy's instrument, and challenged the idea of what a viral artist could look like. But her story remains unfinished. It's both a celebration and a caution. Fame doesn't always come with fulfillment. And sometimes, the most powerful message isn't in what's played, but in what's left unsaid. Because even when the drums go quiet, the ripple they leave behind is impossible to ignore.